Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fashion Avenue News, where only the best will do. I'm your host, Sophia Davis, and tonight we have an absolutely amazing guest for you. But before we speak to our guests, we have to run over and say hello to our sponsors. We'll be right back in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on Fashion Avenue News TV, and I have the amazing designer RJ Brands Customs with me tonight. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad to be here. I thank y'all for having me. I'm really excited to be here today. I'm doing great.
Well, we're excited to have you. I've seen some of your work, and it is totally amazing. So I
Thank you so
had to
much.
do an interview with you. Really love your stuff. So we're going to jump right into it. And let's talk a little bit about the beginning. Why did you choose fashion design?
Okay, I chose fashion design. I started off when I was going to college. I started off like as a model. So I was in a troupe called Fashion Society where I was modeling, I was into fashion. But it's crazy because at the time I wasn't nowhere into designing clothes at all. The only thing I was really into was just modeling and also just styling people. So I was styling people around campus. I was doing styling internships, things in that nature. But one thing about me, I always have my own unique look. So by me always having my own unique look and I wanted things to look a certain way, I got into fashion design. So, me getting into fashion design, I have a acquired look for all my looks and everything I design. So, and I also have a background story from, I used to deal with depression, low self-esteem, and, different things like that in that nature. But I took those things that I'm dealing with and I put it into my artwork. And that's how, RJ Brands Customs come about, just putting things that you deal with into your art. So that's what makes it like stand out and it makes it a movement. So it's a movement of, telling people just to be unapologetically you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what
I
RJ Brands
love
Customs
it.
stand for. Yeah.
I love that because you know what? Now people are trying to catch up. If you look around at the different, magazines, runway shows, and the commercials on television, even everyone's trying to catch up with just accepting people as they are. Where you've been doing this, but they're trying to catch up now, especially during the pandemic. I think that people started to realize that, everyone's a person. So
Yeah.
now they get it. So I think that that's fabulous. Now, are you self-taught or did you take any classes or anything like that?
I'm honestly self-taught. And also, a lot of my designs, I get like inspiration from like YouTube. Like I'll look at like different videos. Like I'll have a design or I'll have a certain idea in my head on what I want to do with clothes. So like sometimes I will surf online. I will, even look at different people's styles and I just get inspiration. I might get inspiration from different like music artists or maybe someone walking on the street. It can be like my favorite, people that got their style like YouTube.
Excellent.
And I just kind of go from there. Like I learn how to sew and do the techniques a lot from YouTube. So and then I just make it on my own.
Good.
Yeah.
That is really good because I think that is so much information on YouTube now that you can almost kind of get a college degree on YouTube, so to speak.
Yeah,
Whatever
you
you're
ain't lying.
interested in.
Yeah, most definitely. YouTube is teach you everything. It's like a book. It's like an
Yeah.
encyclopedia. I love it.
Yes, yes, a digital encyclopedia. Now,
Literally.
how do you begin to design a collection? What is the starting point? Like, where do you start? Because I saw one of your collections, I absolutely fell in love with it. I was like,
Thank
now
you.
that is like so fabulous. I think it was the one that had like printed stuff on it. It looked like pictures. I don't know if it was
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse or Marilyn Monroe or something like that.
I'm a 90s baby, so you know what I'm saying? I love the 90s. I love 90s fashion. I love what 90s fashion stand for. Anybody around me, my friends, parents, anybody will tell you like RJ is so into the 90s. Sometimes I wish I was going to high school in the 90s to be a part of the 90s fashion era. You know what I'm saying? How I really start my pieces is, I get a lot of blank canvases that I see that could potentially I could turn into something that really dope, and I could turn it into a piece of artwork. So, I start off by getting like blank canvases, blank trench coats, anything I handle where I think I can do something with that. That's how I really start my designing. Do a lot of thrifting. I thrift a lot of my canvases, consignment shops, a lot of different things like that online. So I just take blank canvases and just make it into something, a piece of artwork. I just make it into RJ.
Well, it's very unique and is really, really fabulous. I've witnessed your collection. I just love it. Now,
Thank
is
you.
there a specialty to your brand? Is it streetwear? Is it, I love to call it couture, but I mean, I know it's RJ Brand's custom because it's custom designed, I guess. But I think it's so fabulous.
Thank you
Is
so
it like
much.
in a category? I guess you can't put it in a category.
I okay. I would say definitely my collection stand out in a way because you get a mixture of everything. You might get a mixture of elegant, you might get a mixture of high fashion, you might get a mixture of street. I take a lot of different elements and I collab them and I put them together. That's what make it stand out. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sticking to like one thing, it's
Exactly.
like when you like genres of music, how you like different genres of music. I think of it like that. I take different elements and I put them all together, and you know what I'm saying. I just make the art. So I look at it as I'm like high end urban couture or something like that in that
You're
nature.
definitely high end,
It's basically
honey.
streetwear. It's
Definitely high
streetwear
end. I
that's
love it.
high end. Thank you.
You are very high end, and I love that. So we're going to go talk to our sponsors. We're going to be right back in just a moment. You're watching Fashion Avenue News, and we'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're talking to an amazing designer, RJ Brands Customs, and his garments are fabulous. I had the opportunity of working with him alongside him at Atlantic City Fashion Week for a couple of seasons, and darling, he turns it out. Now, let's talk about models when you're doing your own show. I know that at Atlantic City you're assigned models, but doing your own show, how do you pick your models? What do you look for them to bring your collection to life?
When I pick my models, I definitely look for I'm very personable. I definitely look for personality. I start off with personality. I get to feel people out, you know what I'm saying? I feel their energy, feel their positivity out. So I definitely look for definitely great energy first, and I definitely look for people with confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because with my pieces, you got to be real confident. Because my pieces are real loud. They're very rare. They're very out there. They're very bold. So confidence is definitely a huge key and they play a huge factor. So that's what I look for in my models when I choose them, do casting calls, or when I go to casting calls, when I'm in shows, I look for those different elements, you know. And I look at people that, you know what I'm saying? I'm about giving everyone chances. So, you know, I see someone that might want to get into the modeling thing and they want to start off. So I love to I believe in definitely helping people out. I see potential in a lot of people, especially when it comes to the modeling thing. It can definitely be done. But my personal thing, I definitely look for confidence, personality, a great walk, the main things.
Excellent, excellent. Now, do you use models of all sizes, heights, and weights, or do you stick with just a standard industry model?
I use everyone. I'm diverse, all sizes.
That's
Short,
really good because
short,
they're
tall,
looking for
medium
that.
size, plus, I believe everyone is, what I'm saying, dope in their own way. So I believe in, like I said, everyone, got their own, gift and got their own look. So that's what makes me stand out as well. I like to use different people and a lot of different personalities and stuff like that. I think it's kind of cool.
I do too. I love it. I love it. I think that you do a fabulous job. Now, how do you prepare for a show? You're going to do a show. Do you, have all your stuff lined up? You know who's wearing what if you get the comp cards, or do you just bring the garments and do the fitting there? How does that work?
All shows are different. So usually with bigger shows like different fashion weeks and stuff like that, I get comp cards. So basically I look at that comp cards, I study them out. I study the model. Like I might go on their Instagram page and look at their personal style on their day-to-day basis. And when I look at
Mm.
different models and I look at, who they are, I can kind of base the outfit on what I'm gonna design for them based on what I see. So different shows are different. Some local shows, I go to the casting call and I take a look at how they walk. I see them in person and check them out. So I definitely can base my pieces on the models and and their personalities and how they are and their energy. I base my selections off of that.
Yes, you definitely want someone on that runway that's going to bring your garments to life. And
Yeah.
I mean, from what I've seen the last few seasons, you did exactly that because you just do an amazing job. Now,
Thank you so much.
what do you think it takes to be a successful fashion designer? Because we know that you are one of the success stories simply because a lot of times when you go to a show, your stuff sells out. You don't have
Yeah.
nothing to take home. Okay,
Yeah.
people come to get something from you and it's all gone. So what do you think it takes? Is it the discipline? Is it the preparation? Is it the style, the trend? What is it that you think makes a great fashion designer?
I'm definitely going to start by saying consistency. Just staying in the game, just sticking to it. Staying positive, staying confident in what you do, loving what you do, having a passion for what you do. You gotta love what you do, first of all, because people can definitely tell and feed off an energy. So just loving what you do, just staying consistent, just keeping at it, even days you feel like I can't do this, or days where you might feel like you might get less support in certain areas, or days that might not be the best days. But I just tell people, to continue to be successful is just basically consistency and pushing on and just remaining confident and being passionate and love everything about what you do. That's really important to being a successful fashion designer. And also, I'm a big believer of God. I keep the faith. I pray. Um, my faith is up there, so I definitely believe in that. And God bring me a long way. So definitely, I just stay prayed up. I stay positive, and most of all, I stay consistent in what I do.
Excellent. I think that's really good because I've always been a big believer that consistency is the key to success. Because it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how many times you do something and it doesn't come out the way you want it, as long as you stay on the road, eventually it will work. So I do believe that being consistent is important. I also love a word you use, which is my favorite word, confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be a confident person in this world, and in my opinion, just to survive. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, uh, you have almost like you can kind of say the world against you. It's not there against you, but you know what I mean. You feel so much pressure. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, that confidence is something that will bring you through because you
Mm-hmm.
go to a show, you walk in a room full of designers, everybody's got something different. You look around the room and You're comfortable because you know you put the best, into your collection. So you're comfortable with your collection. And I think the word confident is a word everybody should have in their vocabulary. So I love it. I really think that's fabulous. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run over to speak with our sponsors. We'll be right back in just a moment on Fashion Avenue News TV. Back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and we're speaking with RJ Brands Custom, and he is absolutely an amazing designer. Now, did hip hop have any influence on you as far as your designs are concerned?
Oh yeah, this is the fun part. Hip hop definitely have a I definitely play a major role in what I do. As you can see, my stuff is very urban, it's very street, it's very bold. My dad was a DJ for 40 years. So me growing up, I always been into old school music, old school hip hop. My dad had all the different records and all the different albums. So yeah, I get a lot of my inspiration definitely from old school hip hop music, you know what I'm saying? Because my brand is it gives off a hip hop feel, but yet high end type of hip hop feel. So I'm taking hip hop and I'm mixing it in with fashion, and you just collide those things together. So hip hop definitely play a huge role. Like definitely, I would definitely say that it does.
That's excellent.
It's very influential into what I'm doing.
Yes, and it's funny how music or an era of time can be so important, to you. And sometimes you don't even realize that that inspiration is coming from that. You just know this is what you like. Like I like old glam Hollywood. I just like it. I don't know where that comes from. Like, you know what I mean? So I can certainly relate to what you're saying when you say that, hip hop plays a big role. So I think that that is amazing. Now, what do you think is your greatest strength and your greatest weakness as far as fashion design is concerned?
You say my greatest strength and my greatest weakness.
Right.
Mm, I would definitely say my strength is like the creativity aspect of like, putting different pieces together. Cause I can just be thinking about different stuff in my sleep, honestly. I can be sleeping on different designs or throughout the day, I can go out my whole day and I think about different stuff I might want to design. Like I said, I pick up inspirations from all kind of different places. Just like the piggyback off the music thing, off of music. So my strength is definitely the creativity part. And sometimes I would say my weakness, I would definitely say I could be last minute. I might not have a concept for different things. So sometimes I could tend to throw stuff together, but it always come out cool. But at the same time, I want to learn how to, come up with concepts ahead of times. Because sometimes that can come back to bite me in the long run, especially if I have a show or I'm last minute with things. So that's my weakness with that part. But the strength is definitely the creativity.
The creativity and that confidence level.
Yeah,
That's
definitely that.
fabulous. And staying prayed up helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's really good. Now we're getting down to our last few questions. What inspiration or advice could you give for people in the fashion industry or looking at the fashion industry that might want to be a designer or, stylist or just get into fashion? What advice?
The advice I can give: do your research, do your research, do your research. Like, do your research. Make sure that's something that you're really passionate about. Make sure that I tell people all the time, like, if you have a story, like, make sure you have a story that you can, tell people. Make sure you have a movement that you can put out to people. Because fashion is more than just clothes. It's also a story. It's a story of art. So I definitely say, people, do your research. Make sure it's something that you're really passionate about before you step into that field. And also, when you get into it, the piggyback off what we said earlier, consistency, and just stay in the game, and just not giving up, and just continuing to let creativity, build, and just find inspiration. Find out what you like, find out what the different, look at different people that you look up to in their fashion and different things in that nature. But the moral of it all, just staying consistent and just staying true to it, and just having a love and passion for doing it. And that's the advice and inspiration I will offer to anybody. And most of all, just stay positive.
Excellent. Positive and have a level of confidence too, because that
Yes.
always helps. Now, if we could get your social media so people can follow you, or if someone would like to purchase some of the garments that you have, or just, maybe get something made that, you're always making amazing garments and they're so unique. I've never seen you have anything that looks like something else. You know what I mean? It's very unique stuff that you have. Your
I
garments are
appreciate
beautiful.
that.
Mhm.
You can find me on RJ Brands Customs LLC on Instagram, and also on Facebook. You can look me up at RJ Gregory, and those are my two social media platforms. You can find me, contact me, and look into purchasing my pieces. Just shoot me a DM, and you're talking about different ideas. And also, I have a website that's in the making as well. So that's
All
coming
right.
soon.
Now, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you want the public to know, your public to know? Is there anything you want to add?
I think we most of all covered everything.
Okay, I
I'm
always like
excited
to
about.
ask.
I am going to be back in Atlantic City Fashion Week this upcoming 18th, and I got some great news. I've been nominated as top couture designer for Atlantic City
Yes,
Fashion Week
yes,
Awards.
that is fabulous.
So
That is
definitely excited about that.
fabulous.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm going to go and vote for you too.
Awesome, awesome. Cast the votes.
I love it. I love it. And we'll make sure that people, people go out and vote because that is really good. That is such an honor. Such an
Yes,
honor.
yes.
Well,
I'm really excited about that.
yeah, me too. I am excited for you because you deserve it. And I'm telling you, your stuff is just so different that I just, your collection is always different and always on point. Always. So
Thank you so much.
I want to thank you so much for taking time today. I know everybody's busy and preparing for Fashion Week, but I do appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. And I can't wait to see you in Atlantic City. I'll be there to see you.
I know, I'm
So that's
excited to see you.
great.
And that same week, I'm gonna be in New York Fashion Week as well. I got New York Fashion Week that Tuesday as well. So it's gonna be a
You
busy
gotta
week.
let me know what show you're doing. Maybe I'll be at that show too.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I go to a lot of the New York shows as well.
Okay.
So
Definitely.
DM me, let me know what show it is. Because it may be a show that's already on my list to be at. Because I cover the shows.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I cover that's what, journalism is my first thing. So
Nice.
that would be great.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
definitely gonna DM you the information. Definitely will do that.
Yes, great. So I'm gonna close us out. And again, thank you so much. Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Fashion Avenue News, where only the best will do. Our guest tonight has been R.J. Brands Custom, absolutely fabulous designer. And we'll see you next week.